Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Donabella Mortel here and thinking. 2020 is upon us. I am now at the age where I am old enough to have gone through several cycles of my life, and I'm still around to think about them. I've been thinking lately about my past self, and if I were to give myself some advice, people always say, if I only knew then what I knew now. Well, if I could send a message to my past self, if I could only send one, what message would I send her? Well, to my past self. To my younger self. Live in the present and appreciate each moment. How do you do that? Well, it starts with that second part, appreciating the moment. Memory is a funny thing. And this is Googleable. Memories are not, they're not like a storybook where you can just go to the library, pull it out of the shelf, open it up, read the story, close it up, return it, and it stays in its awesome form. Memories are not like that. Memories are actually a bunch of different pieces that your brain puts together, maybe the smells, maybe the images, and it compiles it into what we call a memory. Well, it changes, and again, this is Googleable. A memory changes every time you recall it. The very recollection of the memory, to remember your memory, makes you change it each and every time. It's very sad. So, on the other hand, you have the future. The future which isn't promised. The future that you can think about, something that you can try to manifest, but in the end, it's not existent right now, beyond the idea of itself, the idea of it. So you don't have the past, you don't have the future, you really, really only have now. So don't let it pass you by. I spent so much of my childhood daydreaming. Backstory, I'm a Pisces, sun sign, so very dreamy. I lived in La La Land. I'm much more grounded and pragmatic these days. But my younger self, just a daydreamer, a wild, awesome imagination. But I had no idea of how to ground it out. So I feel like I really lost precious time and moments because I wasn't actually present. I was at the dinner table, but thinking about past conversations with friends, or on a car ride, but daydreaming about who knows what. I would advise my past self to take in every moment. My mom is one of 11. All 11 of them live in the same little community in Seattle. And I am one of 28 first cousins. There were no other girls in my age group. It was me and 3 boys. And the girls that were closest to me were 3 or 4 years older than me. They were my sister and my 2 cousins. So I hung out with the girls, and I wasn't allowed to do anything because I was 4 years younger than them. Like, I wasn't allowed. I was there to party, but observe the party. And going through that, I always thought that once I got to their age, I would go through everything they were going through in the same way they were going through it. Well, it didn't turn out that way. I thought I was going to get a pager when I got to high school. I didn't. I got a Nokia with a switchable face. But no, I never had to carry quarters in my pockets. When I went around with my sister and my cousin in downtown, it was like a field trip for me because I was very sheltered, but we'll talk about that another day. We would carry quarters with us because if my sister or my cousin got a page, we'd have to call. We'd need quarters with us. Kids these days would have no idea of what I'm even talking about. But, I come to high school and that doesn't happen for me. I don't need to bring around quarters. And then hanging out with them, I'm thinking that when I get to college, it's going to be how it is when they're in college. But again, it doesn't turn out that way. And I think as I got older, I realized that I was spending my life catching up to what I thought was going to be my future, which didn't end up being my future because my future was my own future. It was mine. It is mine. I feel like along the way, I kind of missed moments. I I just wasn't present. I wasn't thankful for what I had right then and the experiences that I was going through at that time and applying them to my life and to me as a person at that time. So yeah, now, while I obviously plan for the future and while I definitely think back on the past and appreciate every step of the way, I really truly try to live one day at a time, one step at a time. If I could do it over again, I would spend time with my family and be with my family. I didn't realize the last time I lived with my sister that I would never live with her again. And I didn't realize when I was living in the same tiny community with my dad that years from then, we'd be living in 2 different countries, in 2 different time zones. I would have stopped by and had coffee with him every day. I would have gone on a walk with my mom every day. Life is about being present, because being present, whew, now that's a gift. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Pew, pew!